Listen to a teacher talking to her students about the age of exploration.
All right, so let's think back to the 14th century. That's when the age of exploration began. Prior to this time, sailors occasionally told fascinating stories of faraway lands when they returned home from their voyages. But this didn't really help the people back home understand how far apart places really were. You know, like Asia and Europe, for example. However, during the age of exploration, new technologies were being used that made sea travel easier and more common. The two tools I want to look at today are the astrolabe and the compass. I'm guessing most of you are not familiar with the astrolabe. Well, the astrolabe is an instrument that helped ships navigate, find their way better. Sailors used it to measure the position of the sun at noon. With this measurement, they then used a formula to calculate their latitude. Lines of latitude help us know how far north or south we are of the equator, which goes right around the middle of Earth. So by knowing their latitude, sailors had a better idea of where they were actually located in the seemingly endless ocean. It's important to note that the astrolabe wasn't very accurate because it was hard to keep steady on a ship that was rocking back and forth in the waves. I mean, do you think you could hold something still on a moving ship? Lucky for the sailors struggling to use the astrolabe on a rocking ship, the astrolabe was not the only tool that explorers were able to use. At the same time that the explorers were experimenting with the astrolabe, they were also starting to use a tool called a compass to make their traveling directions more reliable. Before the compass was developed, sailors could only use visual cues or landmarks, such as a large mountain, the coastline, or the stars, to indicate direction. But with compasses, they started using the directions we're familiar with today: north, south, east, west. They no longer had to rely just on their sight. Since Earth acts like a very big magnet, it can interact with other magnets. So early explorers discovered that they could use the attraction between Earth's magnetic field and a magnet in their compass to always know which way was north. And once you know which way is north, you can figure out which way you're traveling at any time.